Hey, what's up, boys and ghouls? It's Old School Rollers here. It's been quite a while since I made a video. Yeah, it's been a little while since I rock and rolled here, but I thought I would do a little video on a new series of Pathfinder minis coming out, or have come out just recently. And no, I don't have a brick of them, but I went down to the store. I thought I'd try a few out. Disclaimer here, I actually do not play Pathfinder, okay? So I'm not aware of the story arcs and stuff. I would like to play Pathfinder. As I understand it, it's pretty much Dungeons and Dragons 3.5. But I do like the minis. And I mean, the Dungeons and Dragons minis are good. They're decent. And of course, you can get, creatures that are already statted out. And many of these are, can easily be brought over. I mean, Pathfinder, again, is a D20 system similar to Dungeons & Dragons, so you have your goblins, your orcs, things like that are already statted out in the Dungeons & Dragons monster manual, of course. Other creatures, if you want to bring them directly over, are easily converted because they use armor class and all that kind of stuff. It would be similar to, like, converting a 3.5 creature over. Or sometimes, like, what I want to do, if I find something just kind of interesting or different, I'll just stat it myself and throw it into a game for fun. But I do like the Pathfinder minis. The D&D minis are fine. I mean, they're both made basically by the same company. WizKids, I believe, produces them. But I do find, for whatever reason, maybe it's just me, but the Pathfinder ones seem to have a more consistent quality to them. The Dungeons & Dragons are kind of hit and miss, and also what they offer in a given selection. Without getting too off into that, I just personally, I find the Pathfinder minis are pretty consistent. And with this Maze of Death that came out in what was just last month, a couple of weeks ago, at the end of October, what I like about this series is not only does it have interesting minis, but it has a lot of dungeon dressing. We're talking like things like doors and gated passageways and just things that are really practical that you can use. They're really good quality, and if you're to buy them individually online, they're quite expensive, so I do think they're worth the price. Now, some of you may notice there is a price of $19.95 on there. Another disclaimer here, that is Canadian, so if anybody's watching this from the States, it is a little bit cheaper in the United States, of course, but those are Canadian prices, and that's pretty on par for what you pay for these types of packs, regardless of the company. It's usually around $20. Now, I did include one here. This is one series by Pathfinder that came out, The Lost Coast. And that actually came out, I think, back in February. And again, I don't play Pathfinder, so I'm not aware of the campaign setting or the story arc that this actually belongs to. I just picked it up, and they're pretty reasonably priced, around $15. Again, in the States, it's probably like $10 or something. And you get your 4 minis. Just like the other ones, and I thought I'd just try it out. Now it looks like it's some kind of swamps, jungle-ish kind of setting. Of course, with Dungeons and Dragons right now, Tomb of Annihilation is the big buzz going on. So I thought I'd try this out and see what was in there. But it was the Maze of Death ones that I was anxious to try, because I was thinking about ordering a brick online, because there really is enough cool dungeon dressing stuff in there. Another thing, I just want to be upfront, I did open them and take a peek, so it's I just couldn't wait. I wasn't even sure I was going to make a video about it or anything. I didn't open them up, like all the figures up, so that would be the first time we can do that together, but I just wanted to make it clear I did open it up and cheat and take a peek, and I'm happy that I did, and actually inspired me to make this video, because for my first 2 boxes, I think I scored pretty good. So without any delay, let's get into it. I'm going to start with this bad boy right here, and let's pull that out. I don't think I have to get into the whole how it's packaged. Anybody who's bought these, it's pretty typical, but let's take a look. So right off the bat, when I opened this one, I was very impressed, because this is one of the figures that I was going to order online from somewhere like Troll and Toad or something like that, and it's a lot bigger than I thought, but I definitely can use this in a jungle type campaign. Again, this is Maze of Death, not The Lost Coast, but that is called a Vine Viper, I believe. Viper Vine, sorry. You guys can see that right there. So it's like a snake-like beak-mouthed creature, but it's somehow camouflaged, or perhaps some kind of living evil vine. again, those that play Pathfinder that may watch this, all 5 of you, or if I'm lucky to get that many views on the video, but I mean, maybe you know how, is this a story, like a campaign or something? Is this a creature that fits into that? I'm not exactly sure, I haven't researched it yet, but it's a pretty damn cool looking figure. So I was thrilled to open the box and get that. It's got some good weight to it too. I'll show you the bottom there. Not sure if you can see that. I took the autofocus off, so. But very happy with that. Very happy with that. So that's one. I'll put them all out front in 1 sec here. Now we'll just kind of set them there. And then, of course, I got a few other ones. Now this particular box had some weight to it, and I was happy to find another little piece of, well, the first piece of dungeon dressing. I was surprised to get it with a large figure. Looking through, I could tell that it was a doorway, like a stone trim or archway around it. Not really an archway, but you get what I'm saying. But it's a cool kind of, oh, that is neat. It's like a cool, menacing door. You know, it's got the skeletons or skulls. Sorry. So that definitely could be like a dungeon cell door. You know, someone could see through the bars there. And the back. I actually have a version of it without the skulls, which is cool that there's a backside to it, because really you're getting 2 doors in one depending on the setting, you know, thematically. Pull that back a bit so you can, I'm sorry, I'm off to the side here, boys and girls. And that's good. It's got a little bit of weight. Very happy about that. That's what I was looking for, that kind of stuff. That's why I'm buying it. I mean, you can never have too many minis, but this kind of stuff's hard to find. And I craft, I make my own stuff, but you know, it's only so many hours in the day, and it's nice to get this type of stuff of this quality. Very happy with that. So let's tear into this next bad boy. Yeah, that's a cool dude. What do we got here? Your Defon? Am I saying that correctly? Your Defon warrior? You guys can make that out. I apologize if you are a hardcore Pathfinder player. As I said, I'm not aware. I was too lazy to do research. But it's a cool dude. I mean, definitely a cool. That's the thing. Like, even if it's not, I do the same thing with D&D minis. Like, if I buy a particular series, I may not play that campaign, but they still make cool NPCs. See, that's kind of the bittersweet thing about these types of packs. I hate them and I love them at the same time. I hate them because you don't actually know what you're buying. Right? It sucks when once in a while you do get a crappy one, you get doubles, you get that kind of stuff, and it's really irritating when you're just trying to get maybe a handful of them. Again, there's always the option to go online and buy them, I get it, but you know, that is the downside to them. The upside, though, is I have to admit there's been a lot of minis I've gotten in these types of packages that I would probably never think of actually purchasing, that I have used as a DM. I generally like to play more than DM, but I do DM. That's why I craft all this stuff, make most of it myself. But I mean, just simple things like bat swarms and things like that. Like, I just never really thought about it too much. And yeah, I mean, there's those little things that add a lot of nuance to the game that I use a lot. I really enjoy. And one of those things is actually here in this package, and I love that I got it, because as if you've seen some of my other stuff, you know that I make a lot of cavern scenery and terrain. And this guy here, this fungus, this mushroom, back a little bit, and purple fungus, that's all it's called. I think I remember looking it up online. I was looking up the series. Definitely that is a welcome addition as well. That's something I can use, you know. So very happy with that score. That's my first box that I opened. Very cool Vine Viper. Or Viper Vine, I can't, what the hell was it? Viper Vine, there we go. Very cool door. Looking for that kind of stuff. That's why I was buying this. I've already got ideas for that. That's easy to throw in. And a cool NPC. Very good. Box numero uno. Happy with that. Alright. Let's move on to the next box. And now this one was really heavy. And I am that guy. I admit it. I learned that trick. I've been scoring huge lately, boys and girls. But you know what I'm talking about. You go to the store, oh, that's like, oh, that one's heavy. I take the heavy ones. I've gotten 2 beholders in the last couple of weeks. And some other really cool stuff like giant hawks. And again, the giant hawk I would never buy. As soon as I open, I'm like, whoa, this is cool. Already got ideas to use it. But I'm very happy about this one. I'll pull this out. Here, this is one of the pieces I was considering buying online. Notice some water dripping out. I'll explain that in a second. But yeah, there's an actual word for this that starts with a P. I can't remember actually what it is, but I just call it a gated entranceway. Very cool. Measures about 3.5 inches across the base, and most of my tiling system works with like 3-inch openings and 3-inch units, but might have a bit of an overlap. But what the hey, that's going to look great. Front and back looks good. Now, why is it I got some water dripping out of it? Well, because when I did first open the box and take a look when I got it today, and you can kind of see there's a bit of a bow on the bottom. It still sat there, but it rocked, and it wasn't completely straight. So I actually took a barbecue skew and cut it to the length I wanted, and kind of opened these up and held it in place, and dropped it in boiling water. And did that trick. I did it for something this thickness and size. I did it about 10 seconds, 11 seconds. And took it out of the boiling water and threw it in the freezer with the support still in there holding it in place. Much easier than trying to play with it after. And has straightened it out for the most part. There's still a little bit of a wow to it, but there we go. Very, very cool. Very happy with that one. Of course, you can see the NPC there. But I'll put it out just for kind of a perspective. Alright, so very, very cool. So 2 very cool pieces of dungeon scenery. Very usable, very good quality, very high quality. I have no complaints, other than the fact it came in the box a little wonky, but definitely going to get lots of use out of that. Now let's take a look at the minis that came with it. Yes, there's more. Now these are pretty small ones, but again, these are ones I probably wouldn't buy, but I will use them for something. Let's check it out. This is a tiny guy. And the Pugwampy Gremlin. Oh, you can even really make it out. Again, I have to turn my autofocus off. It just goes crazy silly, so I do apologize if you can't really see that. But he's a cool little guy. I would probably throw him in with some of those Dungeons and Dragons goblins or something like that. Or run him just as a gremlin. Again, something I probably wouldn't buy, but I'll probably use him at some point. Sit him there. Now I got another little guy here. What do we got? Someone with a tail. Rat folk. Artillerer. So basically it's a rat dude with a crossbow. Looks like it's pretty small. I'm not sure if we're going to get any detail off that. I'll put it up there, but yeah, it's pretty blurry. No autofocus, so I can't really. Of course it's not going to do it. I've said a bazillion times I've turned the autofocus off, but I'm going to pull it back a bit. Not sure about that one. I mean, again, there's always a use somewhere. But, cool. That was worth it, though, to be honest with you. It's still worth it. No regrets. No regrets. And actually, this dude is very usable for me because I like these types of, like, fish kind of guys. I often do, like, a Lovecraft kind of theme in my campaigns, depending on the situation, of course. But, and I have some other figures that he could fit in with. And what's their kind of fish dude in Pathfinder world? Again, if I say this incorrectly, Ulot Keeney warrior. I'm not sure if that's even close to being correct. But basically, he's a fish dude. It looks like he's got some chainmail or something on, and I'm sure I'll be finding many uses for him. I'll put him in with some other fish dudes that I already got, and they'll all be a big happy family. Alright, so far so good. So I'm very impressed with my first 2 boxes that I got from this series. Some very usable stuff. Favorites obviously are going to be that, and this guy. That was a pleasant surprise. It was something I was looking at ordering online just by itself. A lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Happy with that. Probably second in line. Happy to get that little dude because because it was something else I was thinking about ordering a few of them. I got to see it. Good detail. Again, very consistent. I like the paint jobs, pre-painted. I paint a lot of my own. I'm in the middle of doing a few right now. There's a townsfolk dude and, you know, wizard. These aren't done. But, I got a lich there I'm kind of doing. But, it's nice to get quality paint jobs, pre-painted ones. They come with good paint jobs. And I've been happy, again, with the Pathfinder series. Definitely find uses for these in my campaigns. Now, this series here, don't know much about, the Lost Coast. But I thought I'd grab a box just for something different. $14.95 here, decent price. Down the States, probably about $10, $11, somewhere in there. And I was happy with this too, so let's take a look. And I open it up, and I got another large size mini. I find the Pathfinder series too a little more generous, or maybe it's just my luck, maybe it's just how probability worked. But I find with the Pathfinder series is I always generally score something pretty cool like this. And this again was an I didn't even know this mini existed. He's a character, Malagus Krieg. Don't know much about him, but he'll make a good org or ogre or something. I'll figure out something to use him for, but very cool. Very happy with that guy. Kind of matches a hill giant I painted up. Another series that I borrow minis from quite a bit is the Descent board game. I think they have super high quality minis, and I like painting them up and using them in D&D. And they had a cool hill giant that had like skeletons in his beard, and I believe hanging from his belt on one side. He's got some shields and stuff. But anyways, yeah. So this guy would kind of match him with that. Very, very cool. I'll show you the back. Very good detail. Great paint job. No complaints on that mini at all. Look at this pickaxe there. And I was going to leave him there for a second for you to admire. But very cool. I was surprised with that. Very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. And we got some more minis going on with this. So let's check that out. Oops, sorry. Looks like a little goblin dude. I actually usually use the Warhammer goblins and orcs. I've got a bunch of them and I kind of like them. And this guy actually has a profile very similar. It's a goblin druid. Interesting. Maybe we'll have a character who wants to do something like that with Volo's Guide or something, you know. But I don't know if you can make that out at all. It's blurry. I'll pull it back a little bit. Maybe I'll take him down. Actually, just for like a sense of perspective. guy looks more like Yoda, to be honest with you. First thing I thought. Actually, maybe someone could use it in a Star Wars game as it was kind of like a Jedi. He's got his, well, whatever. But you get the idea. So it's cool. It's cool. Doesn't really match my other goblins and characters that I have, but still cool. Still cool. And then this guy. This guy. There we go. His name is Brodert Quink. Don't know his place. Look at the copyright. I'm just sorry, he's kind of blank out there. The copyright on these. See, that's 2017. This one's got copyrighted 2014, so I don't know if it's just the WizKids NECA copyright. I don't know if or maybe this guy's from a different series. Not sure about that. Not 100%. This one has copyrighted 2014. But he's good. He's cool. He's like a scholar. This would be a good NPC in like a guild or something, actually. You can see him there. He's just a dude with a pair of glasses reading a book, maybe a scribe or a, you know, an elder in some kind of or a higher position in like a royal library or magician's guild, wizard's guild. Or maybe he's a clerical. Does office administration. So I don't know. He definitely could be used as a PC as well. But another very cool NPC character. I mean, you don't have to have all heroes. I mean, I got all kinds of dwarves and you know, fighters and magic users and things like that already for PCs. So it's good to have characters like that can work in as NPCs. Town folk, just generic kind of guys. Like it. I'm happy with that. So next one. Very interesting. Fire Pelt Cougar. Black Cat. This one is interesting because it doesn't really have like a panther. Like I have a displacer and some other things. I have a tiger and stuff. They have more of a kind of panther-like head. Whereas this one, I'm not sure if you can see, it's almost more of a cat. I know that sounds silly. I mean, I know they're all felines, but I'm just saying this one's got a more kind of rounded style to it. You know? But that's cool. See, that's something, again, I wouldn't even think about buying, but I can definitely use in a campaign setting, outdoor setting. And it's got decent detail on it. And I'm sorry if you can't see it that well, especially it being dark. But that's cool. So I'm happy. That's my first box I bought from that. They've been out for a little while. But that's what I got out of there. Again, just for size comparison. You can see. I'm very happy with that guy. So as you can see, out of 3 boxes, I got some really cool stuff. Very usable stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I got a couple cool monsters and I can sit around and wait to use them. Doors I'm going to be using all the time. You know, whether they're whatever the application. You always can use this type of stuff if you're DMing, right? Very happy with that. Very happy with the fungus. Very happy with the characters. So, Lost Coast, worth checking out if you haven't. I hadn't heard of this series. I don't follow Pathfinder. They just kind of turned up, and whoops, I'm happy that they did because for the price, I'll definitely be checking out some other boxes of them just to get some cool stuff. Very happy with that. But Maze of Death, ladies and gentlemen. To me, that's where it's at right now. Pull it back. There we go. I'm just, you know, they're just very practical dungeon terrain that you get. And for me, that's worth it. Definitely think about getting a brick of these. If I do end up buying a brick or splitting out with somebody, I'll definitely do a video unboxing of that. show you guys everything in detail what comes with it. But so far happy. So yeah, check that out. And this is stuff obviously you can use with any you know, any RPG that's set in like a, you know, that typical medieval kind of fantasy world. Very high quality. Very happy. So until next time, thanks for watching, and if I do get some time, I'll try to put up some little craft videos. There's so many good craft videos already out there of guys that, you know, do you know, way better of a job than I do. But if I do have time, and if anybody's interested, I have no problem doing a couple of little craft videos or maybe some live playing videos. But I'm definitely going to keep you posted with my finds on these, because so far, very happy. Recommend them. Go out, buy them. Just don't buy them where I buy them. Until next time, thanks for watching.